Hey guys, our decline here, average picker. So, just to be really clear here, this is the Rebel Yale challenge lock pinned up by Pickme1977. I did not pick this. What I actually did was shim it, or rather I shimmed it to about the first two pins, and then I just picked the last two and turned the core. So this was sent to me from Jimmy Lovejoy, and I watched his video picking it, and he didn't really have any issues with it. Jimmy's a pretty good picker, actually. You should check it out. He does a lot of pick guts, and then he puts it all back together too, and it's like a 9-minute video sometimes, and you're just like, how'd you do that in 9 minutes? Maybe I just prattle on too much. But I don't know, I had maybe, let's say 25 minutes invested in this lock, which is not a whole lot of time, I know. However, that chewed up the shim. Look at that. I think there's still part of the shim in there. However, I noticed real quick, especially after watching his video, I was doing a lot of the same stuff he was doing, and it needs some really intricate little front end work. But in the back, pins 4 and 5 just seem completely locked, even with no tension. There's no key for this lock, by the way. But yeah, even with no tension on the core, the last few pins shit, I think I see some of it. The last few pins didn't seem to want to move much. So I got to wondering, it could just be me. That's very likely. I'm not going to write that out of there. But when you can't get pins to move even with no tension, sometimes there can be some really heavy serrations in there, and something is just completely hung up maybe. I trust Jimmy put it together correctly. It could have easily happened just in shipping. Maybe it got jostled and some pin just wedged itself in somewhere. Where's the tweezers? Yeah, let's use these. So I just thought it'd be interesting. I was like, let me take it apart, see what might be going on with it, and we'll go from there. So I just thought it'd be interesting for you guys to come along having a look with me at this lock. I don't normally do this. Normally I figure, okay, it's me. But yeah, like I said, when there's no key and you have trouble moving the pins, even with no tension, some of these challenge locks are a little bit finicky. I mean, Pickme does some really good, solid work. So it's something I would expect more from somebody, like me, say, doing their, maybe third challenge lock. Oh, Jesus Christ. To have screwed up and done. I'm pretty sure that came out that way. Strange. Where you just got a cut that's not quite right. I'm going to go very slowly here because I want to make sure I get these out orientated correctly. That's some actually really neat work. I'll, of course, swing the camera around and show you guys. There's not been any real surprises up, well, a little bit, but the front of the lock is pretty much what I was expecting. By front, I mean, I'm looking at like the first 3 pins. Okay, let's see. This might be a case for pulling everything out. Where's my sharp little guy? All right, I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll take a look at this stuff. Okay, so where we were having the issues was around pins 4 and 5. So 4, well, let me put it this way. We could get some movement off of one of these two with no spring tension, but I was having issues getting either of them to move, even with no spring tension. So let's take a look at the core. That's really interesting. We've got an enlarged hole on 4. Definitely have serrations. That's enlarged, but it doesn't seem to be undercut. Oh, well, yeah, we do have a little bit of undercutting there. Yeah, we got some very sharp undercut. Oh wait, look at that. It's actually a hole. Goes through, that's interesting. Nice serrations on 3. 2 is smooth, 1 is smooth. Okay, so, man, look, so this was our, so we're looking at chamber 1, chamber 5, and that's our shear line. So look at that guy. Are those sitting loose? Are those wobble? Oh, okay. I thought for a minute it had little floaters on there. There's our pin. There's our 4. And that's some nice work, Pickme. And then what we've got is a key pin. So none of this looks like, I don't know, man, that hole though. I mean, it's possible. There's some really fine threading. It's something, maybe it jammed up in that hole somehow. I mean, that looks like it shouldn't be an issue. Let's take a look upstairs, see what we get. If any of these springs resist too much, I don't want to bend them out, so I'll just see. Do they all look the same? And this is where we're interested in, back here. It doesn't feel like anything is going on there. Sorry, the focus is a little off. See if that's threading or if that's just, I think we're just seeing the spring there. Yeah. Lift him out of there. Yeah, so nothing done upstairs. Gonna load these two guys up. Wow, so he barely fits in there. Now this is interesting because he's got these heavy serrations on him. Oh, let's put him back in view. So that's interesting because he's got these heavy serrations up here, but this is the part that was interacting with the shear line. He's actually not going to sit in there too deeply. He does hang up, definitely, a little bit stronger in some places. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's quite a... I've got a lot of pressure on that, actually. just use this pick because it's already in my hand. Let's see what happens if we slide it down here. So it seems like at least those are going through right now. I'll reassemble the lock and we'll see. Try to get through it again. I mean, that enlarged hole, he gets a little cockeyed in there. I wonder how much spring tension, what was that, 4 that we've got on 4? We've got some. Oh, what I'm starting to wonder, let's say it was not me in my average abilities. Let's say something was actually wrong. Maybe it got jostled in shipping. And because of that enlargement, that guy got up in there and just got a little crooked. Wedged himself in. And I couldn't get any lift on him. So, I mean, I was sticking some pressure. I was trying to flick them too, just get the tip back there on one of the picks and just kind of, like almost like a single pin raking, because it just felt like something was just jammed up, so I was trying to dislodge things. But okay, there we go. Man, Pickme, that's some really neat work done on this Rebel Yale. We'll get it put back together and we will give it another go and see what happens. All right, guys, hope that was kind of interesting for you. Have a good one.